We're going to go over deck lists. We're going to do our roasting deck list section, which we do every week here at Metagames GX Incorporated. We roast your deck lists and give pointers to you, tips. And then also sometimes we just show off like the best decks. So, you know, because some decks don't need to be roasted. So we have Master of Logic's Yubel list that he used against me in the Yubel replay earlier in the stream. So you're running a bunch of hand traps, 12 hand traps at 43 card deck. Does the 43 card list really doesn't matter with Yubel? You just have so many 1-card combos that at that point it's just like, oh, okay. Everything leads to the same place, so it doesn't quite matter if I go to 43 cards. All right, you have Pyrise map. Is this standard for Yubel? It's a spicy card, and then you have the Unchained package with the Fiendsmith card. It's very standard. Side deck, you have the Skill Drains, the Crows, Mind Cons, which is spicy. What do you have the Mind Cons in there for? And you do have the Anti-Spell with the Diarize in the main extra deck in order to provide a pretty great board. So this is kind of like what you guys are looking for if you're looking to build Yubel post. All right, so we do have 50 card Branded Nadir with Maximus. You love to see it. So these are post info, so I'm just like because Nadir post info is something I've actually considered personally, because it's nice to play through the D barrier on Aqua Lock, so it's something to consider, guys. You are running the Dragoon though in the side with the Dark Magician, which is cool. The Lulu in the main. Lulu, I feel like you kind of have to run with Nadir Servant if you're gonna run it. Just like helps everything go. It makes that card way better. You do have the Book of Eclipse as well. Book of Eclipse being a board breaker into info format. I think that's pretty good because it really hits Yubel. Bestial Luber, though, with the Brand Sword. Interesting. You do have the Allures with the Mercurius, so I actually do like the list a lot. Got some spicy stuff. The Ogres in the side for presumably Tenpai and then maybe Gimmick Puppet. Even though you don't have really any other cards to interact with Gimmick Puppet, so I'd probably do something over the Ghost Ogre for sure. I think Droll's pretty good. Alright, card limits. Currently back and forth. Won't find out until I play live post info. So this is his post info list because he does have Monster Reborn the second. He doesn't know if the Soul Exchange will be in there. Hopefully it will. Let's pray for card limits. I think he deserves the card, but yeah, no, I do like the list, of course. Memories of Hope, Soul Crowning. So many cards I just don't know what they do, and I still love it. I need to start reading these cards' card limits because we're gonna match against Master Duel one of these days. You're just gonna cook the ever-living shit out of me with this deck. I mean, that's kind of what it does. You do have the main deck Lightning Storm, so you're always a going second deck. You're always just breaking boards. You still have the Spooky Dogwoods in order to just go plus as hell with Winged Dragon of Raw plays because your life, you know, just having a differential will really go hard with that. So you can pay for more life for Raw. Okay, then. So this deck is the goo. Like we were talking about, like, guys, I was going over post info, you know, goo, lots of texts, things that you haven't seen, you know, going over the matchups between Fiendsmith and Yubel. This is what I've been meaning. This is the creme de la creme. This is the apex. This is what you guys need to be running at Nats in order to drop out and go play Edison side events. So is it your little brother Portal Spirit? Like, does he play much Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, I'll say this. I like the creativity with duality. I love duality. I think that card's nuts, honestly. And you are running Fallen of Albaz, so you know you got Branded Fusion there. You got good cards, and then you're running Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because I guess all your cards are spellcasters. So Nightfall, would you ever run this? Like, would you ever bring this to one of those DB Grinder tournaments? I think you'd still win if you just sided Dark Ruler evenly and still saw them. And then you do have a bunch of just random Dark Magician cards. You do have the Dark Magic Circle because, you know, non-target banishes are pretty good, I heard. But outside of that, I feel like realistically the power level of this deck is way too low. Dark Magician cards don't really facilitate a whole lot. I mean, Illusion of Chaos is a great card. Same with Magician Soul. But however, you know, you have the deployment too. I just think that you would be much better off running a pure branded list. I think the branded cards really brings the cards down. The Ayatamias too is like what are we doing kind of thing. Like Ayatamias is one of those cards from 2014 that wasn't good then and is still not good now, even with more targets. Like you have 2 targets here, but no, you have 1 target there, I think, right? Or can you summon the other guys? I think you can. I mean, the Dark Magicians are cool, but their boss monsters aren't very good, unfortunately. So it is kind of just what it is. DB Grinder tournament, probably. Aluber, I got my girlfriend into Yu-Gi-Oh! She's playing purely in Branded Despia, but she mostly like purely. That's okay. Girls will like their girly deck. It's cool that you got her into Yu-Gi-Oh! Though, so just find her a deck that she'll enjoy. You know, it's cool that she's supporting you in your hobbies. That's always. I also saw Neshi quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, guys. Rest in peace. Yo, it's old Tenpai. Card limits at the moment. It's between 2 desires, 2 Tatsusano, 2 memories of hope, or 3 Tatsusano, or 3 memories. I mean, what have you liked more? I think into info, I think you would want the 3 Tatsusano and the 3 memories. You don't want like to make your way. You don't want to lose to Droll more than you need to in a deck like that. DM Circle does target for banish. Oh, it's not even that good. Okay. This is probably getting worst deck list of the night, but guys, I'm not gonna put it past y'all. Like bring through the goo, you know, bring through the spice, even if it's very overcooked. So we have we have Long John Silver cooking with the Marincess post info, but this time he's not main decking the Molt Chummy that he won the last Mad Games GX locals with. He is now running a small ice barrier engine, which is very cool because you get to run the ice barrier spell plus the ice barrier monster plus the swap frog, so it's a 5-card engine, and then you're able to basically turbo out. I mean, what is it? I mean, it just gets you into totally awesome way more. I hope Sam sees this list. I hope you posted this to Sam. I think Sam would enjoy this list. He has ulti swap frog, so I think he would enjoy this kind of list greatly. On top of that, you fit in so many hand traps. I really love this list, Long John. How does the engine work out for you, Long John? I do have to wonder. You do have the deck lockdowns in the side to just say those are spicy. It's one of those side deck cards I just feel like has never borne out, though. Like, people always talk about being insane, and then just no one runs it. Kind of same with, like, Mistaken Arrest. Just these going first, like, floodgates aren't very good, in my opinion. There are spell cards, rather. Molt Chummy in the side, because, you know, Molt Chummy is very good in a deck that abuses water level 4s. They're aqua, so I understand. The Mountain Man with his post info. We got a wide variety of decks today, guys. With his post info Gimmick Puppet list with 2 rank up magics and the Horus engine, because my man wants to have another win condition than just burning his opponent to death. He wants to be able to play through hand traps a little bit, because the Horus cards give him level 8s, which allow him to go into his rank 8 Gimmick Puppets. Obviously, he does, I think something Gimmick Puppet locks him, but I think you could do the Horus combo before anything. It's not like you're drawing, you're just burning your opponent to death 3 times in a row. Very cool list. How have you been liking the Horus package, Jake the Mountain Man? I must wonder. You do have the board breaking package too, instead of the hand traps, which is cool. I would probably say Dark Ruler over Droplet, though. Dark Ruler over Droplet for sure. I think Droplet, unless it's just some sort of crazy interaction that I don't get with Gimmick Puppets, I think Dark Ruler is better in most decks right now than Droplet. I'd say if not 100% of the decks. So side deck's looking pretty interesting. I think you do need to run a cross out in a deck like this where you like kind of just lose to like specific hand traps. Doing it for Ash is interesting, but maybe that's a going second approach and take out the Horus cards. Your reasoning suggests making the Monster Reborn live as soon as possible. I get that entirely, says Card Limits. You're talking about me, Card Limits. If I want to see Soul Exchange, that's the where Pot of Desires will be placed. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, exactly. If Soul Exchange doesn't come out, I think Desires will fit in perfectly. I think Desires still, you know, I looked at your list, and I think Desires still just like fits into it quite well. It's just like, right, you're tight on space, so it's not the easiest run sometimes. Excalibur, if Dragon Rollers come back, I'm glad if they do. I hope they come back to 3. That would be really nice. GZ1K Destiny means maybe change a heart or snatch steal. Also, you have the Gimmick Puppet trap right there, so very cool, very cool. Long John Silver. I like the Swap Frog engine. Being able to make Toad before you normal summon is solid into your basic Marincess combo. Makes sense. I wish you guys had like a way to get Swap Frog like automatically through like a link or something. That would be so good. Give you guys like a link frog that just specs a frog from deck. Imagine that. Imagine that world. Dude Man 209. If the pop field spell and they don't shift you can Tenpai even do anything if they have a good board setup. I mean, they can OTK you if they don't have the field spell up. You just have to stop their OTK. With interruptions. So as long as they don't have field spell up, it's pretty easy, right? Wow, we have so much deck diversity here this week with our roasting deck list action, guys. This is awesome. We got Ritual Beast post info from our man GZ1K in the chat with the Pengu Ritual Beast. You are main decking the Nemesis Flag and the Corridor because you're main decking Thunder, Dragon, Colossus. Plus, you are also getting the Protoss, I think, in, right? Is Protoss in your main? No, it's not. You're not even siding Protoss. Why are you not siding Protoss? I feel like Protoss is so good against certain decks, but also, like, a lot of people overestimate Protoss. Like, that's why I think I said last week on the roasting deck list on your deck, like, I think overall Thunder Dragon Colossus is a better card, but Protoss definitely I think should be probably in the side deck at the very least for the decks it hits. I don't own one and it's expensive. Oh yeah, I forgot Protoss only has one printing, so it's kind of expensive. I do really like your list though. You do have the cross or one Molchummy, one Veiler though. I'd probably clean that up. Or you do. Oh, you have it for cross out target, so that's fair. 3 talents in the D barriers for the Brandon matchup, which I think you do need for the Brandon Tenpai matchups because I know they could be kind of tough for you. They just like so many interruptions. And then Nibiru, just being Nib. I don't know if Nib is like the play next format though, guys. How do you guys feel about Nib? I don't know if Nightfall is still in the chat, but how did you end up feeling about Nibiru? How do you guys feel about Nibiru and your info testing? All right, next deck list. Let's go. Sun Eater trying out more Despia. More Despia if Puppet is no longer an option post info. So, oh, he's running a Dramaturge, and this is a list if like Puppet or Sanctifier gets banned. Dramaturge is really cool. I actually think Dramaturge is not bad, honestly. I think that overall, especially with the Despia Theater, just being able to get it out, it's not a bad card, but like I think overall with the Gimmick Puppet still being legal, it's way better. I also think like Window will be a better option, honestly, if Sanctifier gets banned, frankly, off of the interaction, because you just go Grand Goyle, send the app Cologne, and search Schism, and you get Winda down this exact same line you would Gimmick Puppet. In my opinion, Protoss is way better than Puppet. You think so, Raul? That's crazy. I do think that Protoss, against the decks it's good against, it's like way better than Puppet for sure. Also, Long John Silver said that deck lockdown has been MVP post-side. Really? I guess I can't hate on it. Killing Tenpai with Buster Bladers is funny. I completely agree. Shout out to the Greek duelist who got top 8 at the Greek Open with Tenpai or Buster Blader. Jake the Mountain Man, Dark, how you doing, bro? Dark Ruler with puppets isn't very good. You can't OTK through Drooler, and the board you end with has a few interruptions, but may not be enough. Oh, now I understand. I'm dumb. Why would I suggest Dark Ruler and puppets? You need to do damage, of course. Of course. So yeah, GZ1K. Might put one to add 2 Dim Fissures in the main deck. Or the side deck. Dim Fissure and Ritual Beast is kind of disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, this is a cool list. You do have the the Despian Perk Skinny on, plus the Lulu Wall Lilith. If you're running Lulu, you should be on the Deer Servant, though. So that's probably what I'd be running in here, maybe instead of the Allures or something. Take out the Crossouts, too. I don't think Crossouts very good in Branded right now, but it's not terrible. Okay, and then... Oh, we have Devin Reeves, the classic Obelisk Blue in the chat. I don't know if he's with us right now. How you doing, Devin? I hope you're doing well, man. I know you're grinding hard right now. You know, with your personal, I don't want to reveal too much, but I know you're going down a very good path. So, you know, good luck with everything there. got a killer list here, my guy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to roast this. This is roasting deck list, Devin. Like, you got to give me some material to work with. So yeah, no, main deck's perfect. I would say maybe Brandon Reddit 2 would be the change I'd make. I think 2 Cartesia is actually 100% correct in a 50 card build right now. I've not been missing the third. I think it's a little bricky and it makes your going second hands a lot worse. I think Foolish could be cut maybe for that. Also maybe a High Spirits. Second High Spirits is pretty good. I've been considering personally, but obviously there's a lot of other things. You could also try out the Lad over the Alba Lenatus. Also the other goo that we were talking about, like Asteria. I'm going to be discussing a lot more in the future with Raul, because Asteria is just a broken card in Branded. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Get you Asterias. Jake the Mountain Man, Horus engine is insane with the puppets. You can go through at the FTK line, they don't get popped from the counters. You can go through the FTK line and they don't get popped from the counters. Oh, that's cool. And you don't get locked, right? Or do you get locked, Jake the Mountain Man? Naz Robinson, been doing a lot of testing and plays a higher bestial count with high spirits. I love higher bestial count with high spirits. I think it's decent in the next format because, like, yeah, you can bestial, like, an IP still. You can bestial like a Fiendsmith or Sequentia or something, but Zelda Duelist YGO, personally, I think Nibiru is pretty similar to this format where it needs to be paired with something else to be really impactful. Yeah, no, so this is a really good list. So the side deck, you do have the hand traps. Bestials might not be the play. Obviously, if you're worried about the mirror match, Bestials might be the play, but I don't think they're the play against Fiendsmith, personally. You're just going to play into Talons. You're going to open yourself into that, and then they're going to mostly play through it. It's only good for, like, the FTK setup against Beatrice, so they don't make Beatrice games 2 or 3. So I guess it's there for that. Yeah, I like that for that. And then Droll's very good, in my opinion, because they're not going to expect you to be on Droll if you're on Branded. So I think that Droll could hit a Fiendsmith player. You just have to be careful about oversiding, because if you see too much non-engine with Droll, you're just going to die if they have like 1 interruption. So Imperm's interesting. I think it's a bit too low impact, but I think that overall Phantasme would be a better option. Like, we didn't even talk about Phantasme when we went over info, guys, but Phantasme is one of the best cards going into info because it hits Yubel, hits all the Fiendsmith decks very hard. You draw 2 or 3, get a body. It's very good. Do you think of the 1 card FTK with Nadir and Branded 60 cards? I mean, what do you mean the 1 card FTK? Like the 1 card Gimmick lock? Like that kind of like help popularize, or do you mean an actual FTK? Because like I've called like I call the Branded Gimmick lock FTK, it essentially is, but like, do you mean, so like, yeah, I think Nadir with that kind of thing is okay. I do like that, you know. I think Branded Fusion FTK is a bit better. Dude Man 209, fire decks can play around Nib, especially in general. There's so many lines to get around Nib. Exactly. How do I submit a deck list? You join my Discord. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. Join my Discord. The link is right there. Join today. I do think overall, Nadir can definitely be ran and Branded though, like, guys. Like we have been talking about Nadir a lot, but so hopefully we get some more Nadir lists, because the last we did have a Nadir list up there. Zaber. I want to be able to use Dark Ruler in the main, but I don't know what to remove because I really want to stay at 50. I'd remove the Shiren, highly cuttable, remove the Adlib, and remove the second Cartesia. Easy. Side deck's pretty good. I mean, Cosmics could probably be removed for something more impactful, in my opinion. I just think Shiren's not doing too much right now this format, because you're supposed to be turning out Masquerade, and when you're not running Masquerade in the main deck, like, what's the point of maining Shiren, you know? You have the Light and Darkness Dragon in the main deck, though, with the Brand Banishment for the 1 card Light Darkness Dragon plus Mirror Jade line plus Lost. Very good, very good. Double Guignol to still complete the Gimmick lock. I like the list, though. Very solid main deck. Just, you know, you could take out the Adlib. Adlib's pretty bad right now. I'd probably go 3 Aluber, 2 Cartesia to take out the Shiren. And then you did remove the Foolish, so you might have to make, like, just an effort to cut something else, like the second Saronir, and you'll be fine. I'm gonna remind you, what's up? How you doing? I'm doing great, brother, now that you're here. We're just chilling. Okay, so I would say you don't have Thrust, obviously. I'd remove the Cross out. I don't think Cross out's very good, especially in a list with Super Poly. You're gonna be losing advantage really hard with seeing those hand traps. So I'd like remove the Adlib, remove the Ashes, remove the Cross out, put in Nadir Servant, put in Maximus, put in Triple Tactics Talents at like 2 or 3, and that'll just be fine. I really do think that Nadir will be pretty decent next format too, like we saw a list before, and that's also like what I was saying in my budget list, that you could be running either Nadir or High Spirits. So like you could run High Spirits at 3 plus the Dragons. I think that overall that you could be running High Spirits just to be playing through the hand traps very easily, and crossouts just doesn't give you any advantage, so I'd remove it. So yeah, no, interesting list. Maybe also remove the 3 D barrier, remove the 3 cosmic, and just get more impactful cards. Like, I mean, you do have the evenly matches, so like, you know, I'd look at like the side decks I've been kind of putting forward. Been playing this a lot online. Oh god, this is Gem Knight, Blackguard, and FTK with super heavy Samurai and literal Gem Knights. Are you just submitting for the second worst deck list of the night? I mean, this one you could actually win some duels with, unlike the Dark Magician one. Alright, guys, you have to submit your deck lists vertically. Never ending, I can't review this. I mean, like, I see 3 duplications, I like that. It's just like, I'm gonna get a headache turning my head. Maybe I could, like, flip it around, but obviously we've been over this before, so just resubmit if you want me to roast it. Alright, so we have Zelda Duelist with his Thunder Dragon Tikaboo in the main deck, Thunder Dragon branded list. Very spicy. My man Zelda Duelist quite literally always cooking. We do see... Also, how you doing on Wild TV? What's up? What is up? It's been a minute, man. How you doing? Whoa, shit. Back to being a member. Let's go. By the way, I got fourth place at the past locals with a record of 3-1-1. So you have 5 rounds. Let's go. Got 2 OTS 25. Congratulations, brother. Hopefully you pulled an ulti or something. Something good super rare. What were your matchups? I'm curious. Good shit, bro. Really good to hear. Glad to hear that you're doing good, dude. Glad to always have you and your energy in here. Yeah, Alexander Winter mentioned Nadir. I do think Nadir is just very good in branding going forward, because you're able to play through the D barrier that is being like FTK, that's gonna FTK you with the Gimmick Pup, or sorry, the Fiendsmith deck. So strongly considering Branded for European Championship. Plan B is Yubel, but all depends on how many hand traps will be main decked. You should play Branded, bro. Plan B is Yubel. I understand not playing Branded, though. It's a tough format. I do think that Brand is a lot better than people give it credit for into the next format. And you're a wild player on it, so I know you'll do it. I sent the best deck, brother, says Long John. I actually love your deck. The Swap Frog, that's a very innovative take on Marincess. So Zelda Duelist with his Thunder Dragon deck. He is running 1 Thunder Dragon Dark and 1 Thunder Dragon Hawk, obviously, to facilitate the 1-card Thunder Dragon Colossus under Shifter with Stapelia if he wants to, with Branded Fusion. Also, the main deck package of Dark Ruler No More and Droplet. Why are you running the Tikaboo in the main deck? I'm curious. He doesn't have any thrust, but he does run 2 duplication to play through that with 2 talents. I'm kind of curious what that package is looking like for you. You also don't have the Gimmick Puppet in the main deck, and you choose to run Adlib. That's the thing. You can't. I don't think you should run Adlib and Gimmick Puppet at the same time, but if you choose to run one over the other, I won't roast you about that. Main deck's interesting. I would just consider putting Gimmick Puppet in over Adlib, because I think there's still... I mean, you only have 1 Grand Guignol. To be fair, only with 1 Grand Guignol, I think Gimmick locking gets a lot worse. So, yeah, I would say, like, evolve your deck over time, but I really do like this list. It's spicy. You're doing the Thunder Dragon Colossus plays. I think Tikaboo in the main deck's a bit troll, but, like, it's like you're going to side it or main it. It's one of the best side deck cards in Branded right now, so I understand. Alright, so... Oh, God. What in... Long John Silver. Come on, man. You even have the Ancient Organisms in here? Come on, man. So we're looking at Runic Stun. I'm close to vomiting. He has 2 D-Fissures with all the Runic spells, including a card that should be banned or at 1 that is Runic Fountain. And then he does have 3 skill drains plus 2 Synchro Zone plus 1 Tikaboo plus 1 Rivalry. Running the Tikaboo's wild, though, in Runic. You're just going to kill yourself to that. And I hope you do. Like, in-game. Not actually, because we love you, Long John Silver. Yeah, no, we got all the Runic cards too, and just a disgusting side deck with the Raw Sphere mode. Raw Sphere mode, I love in Runic Stun. It's so broken. So yeah, no. Okay, so I will give you the award tonight of just like the most anger-inducing deck. Like, this is just, it's a good deck. It's also something I am like religiously against. Like, also Zelda Duelist. I do want to, I want to read over what Zelda Duelist was saying about his deck list because I didn't. I think this is the conclusion of my cookery, my best built deck, if I do say so myself. Colossus seems crazy in the format with Droll everywhere. Papito Liquito is better, but I prefer Colossus. From testing, I often heard that Colossus plus Mirror can actually beat some Fiendsmith Snake Eyes decks. Fair enough. That's a really good point. The fact that Mirror plus Colossus beats Fiendsmith. Double Droplet, double talents, not to draw multiples of my hard once per turn breakers. Teaspoons is my 50th card of choice as it's too good. This format. DD Crow is kind of nuts into Fiendsmith deck from testing as well. Do you like DD Crow against Fiendsmith? What do you DD Crow against Fiendsmith? Because I'd just rather have Bestials against that in that situation. Unless you're just getting one of their spells. Cooking with Azamina. So we do have the first Azamina build on the channel. It's Chimera Azanima. He's running all the new Azamina cards, which basically... But he has to run the Sinful Spoil package, which he does. I don't know why he doesn't have Original. I'd probably just still have Original in here just to have, like, some sort of... like facility. Like, I would just run Original, man, and have like a small Snake Eyes package in here, frankly. That's just me though. Because you don't fusion lock I think you do fiend lock yourself. I could be wrong. If you don't, Snake Eyes package seems really good. 47 cards seems a bit rough. 46 cards, but I do think that Chimera going forward, this is how you're going to want to build Chimera. Like, Branded is probably on the way out for Chimera. However, the new Azamina cards do like light spellcaster, so I could see a build where like Cartesia, Quem in this build, plus Whitewood's cards will go really hard. So he does run the Sinful Spoils Trap, which is an Omni Negate, which is pretty good, plus the main deck Molchummies. I would not main the Molchummies. I would take that out. I think Molchummy in the main is pretty troll unless you're Tenpai or Marincess. But yeah, guys, if you want to see what the Azamina cards do, look at my reaction to Josh Schmidt's video. Also, you could just join the Discord and read the cards there. I really did like your list, though, Zelda. It was probably like my favorite list of the night without Thrust by far. Zelda Duelist, it came up so much in testing. It hard beats you decks like Yubel, Tenpai purely, and makes Snake Eyes really easy, or consider their plays a lot more. That's totally fair, Zelda, like in terms of Colossus. And Wild played Yubel 2-1, got the bye, then Tenpai 1-2, and draw against another Tenpai, and then 1-2 versus Runic Stun. Furious was such an MVP. Yeah, no, you need Furious for that matchup. Great job either way. Card limits. My last locals was Brick City against Tenpai, Snake Eyes, Yubel, and Runic Stun. Oh my gosh. Long John Silver. Oh no, you didn't see the second submitted list. Well, I just did. Zelda Duelist, it came up. Yeah, we read that. And Wild just submitted your deck list. I will definitely review that. Angra, get that war crime out of here. Runic Stun ass. Speaking of Runic, I should play Runic Chimera. I think that's a cool build. Kelenap is super probably a good option. Is super probably a good main deck card. It might be next format. I just think overall it's really hard to run Super Poly and justify it when it takes up way too many extra deck spots. Jake the Mom Man, I sincerely hope my puppets take a fat dump on Stun. Have you done any testing versus Stun? I bet it does. I bet it does. Destiny means why 3 Burfanote with 2 Gazelle. Really want to see a combo with this list. Yeah, we'll have to have some combos up on this build on the channel for sure. Let's see how long we've been reviewing deck lists now. We like to do the reviewing deck list for about an hour. 30 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So, okay. So we're going to review some of the newer deck lists that just came through. CD Sonic 91, aka and Wild TV in the chat. You do have a pretty spicy main deck with the 3 Super Poly on top of the Allure of Darkness with the 1 Fusion Duplication and 1 High Spirits. I do love High Spirits. 2 Quem, or 1 Quem, 2 Cartesia. Do you only have 1 Quem? Is that why? Elsewise, I say 2 Quem is necessary, very much standard and branded. Helps you play through Nib, it helps you play through hand traps, it gives your Grand Guignol another target that's really important so you don't just burn up your Queritus and then it's just useless. Makes it so Titanic just, you know, in case you draw your Quem, you know. Because if you draw your only Quem and you can't really normal summon, you have to go Luber. It sucks. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Super Poly, I think, is not the play in this kind of build because you don't have enough advantage, like, to be generating, because I mean, you do have the one Mercurier and the one Tragedy. I'd put in a second Mercurier for sure. You do need the second Mercurier. It's just correct with Allure of Darkness. You have to always have, like, either two Mercurier or two Tragedy and one or the other. At the very bare minimum, if you're running Allure of Darkness and Branded, in order to have the correct kind of hand ratios that will allow your Allure of Darkness to, like, get you a +1. Also allow you to put in your extra deck a bit more cards. Like, you could run a second Grand Guignol. You could run Alba Lenatus, which just helps your your end boards a lot more. And then in the side, I'd definitely remove the Cosmic Cyclones. I mean, because you just run Lightning Storm plus Feather Duster, and you already have the Feather Duster, so just the Feather. I think Lightning Storm is just better than these. You aren't going to be seeing too much Runic Stun. I think these Lightning Storm just does way more. You do have the Alba Linnaeus in the side, though, and the Masquerade in the side for time. Totally fair. I understand that. With the Bestial is pretty good. With Shaddoll Dragon, I understand. I think Shaddoll Dragon is standard right now. You might see less skill drains in post-info, though, so Shaddoll Dragon might be something you can actually cut post-info. Never Ending has his deck list now in the right order. We do have 3 Aluber, 3 Fallen of Albaz, 2 Quem, 3 Cartesia, 3 Albion, 1 Mercurier, or 2 Mercurier, 1 Tragedy with 1 kit, the Bestials and Gimmick Puppet. Then you have the standard Branded engine, except for 2 Red, 2 High Spirits, 3 Eclipse, 2 Talents, no Thrust, but you do have the Allures, so I understand where you're coming from. I'd probably just maybe... You do have the 3 Fusion Duplication plus the Banishment, and then of course you're going to probably have the Lad, I'm assuming, with the Banishment. So I do really like this list without the... It's a pretty good non-Thrust list. You have the Duplications to pick up the slack where not having the Thrust is. I'd probably just say just like a 3rd Talents, or maybe Nadirs you could consider, but I think overall... This list is really good. Or no, what I would do is 3 High Spirits, maybe with like more Bestials, like run 2 or 3 Saronir. And just try that, because Saronir goes really well with multiple duplications, because Saronir obviously makes duplication. Decimene's damn dude. I have 3 Super Body, but no Mud Dragon, no Garura. I mean, you could be like Yuri and do it like that, but I think overall you do still want at least 1 or 2 targets. Versus Fiendsmith, I think it's just impossible. Just try spam Petalfin. Fair enough. GZ1K. Is second Quem mandatory in Brand going into the next format, or you have 3 thrusts? Yes, I would say it's mandatory. Like, obviously, you can get away with not running 2 Quem. Like, you can play Branded without 2 Quem, for sure, but if you want to go through a tournament and not feel the need for... and not get burned by it, yeah. 2 Quem is going to be nice, because you're going to lose some games off of not having the second Quem. You're not going to lose a ton of games, but it's going to come up a number of times to where you're going to want the second Quem eventually. Book of Eclipse, thoughts? I think Book of Eclipse is pretty good. I thought I answered that question before. But Book of Eclipse is pretty good. It's good into Yubel because it helps show off their board. It's good into Voiceless, obviously. It's okay into Fiendsmith. Still stops like what they're linking off with IP most of the time. And Wild Understandable, Cyclone works for me since I like reactable cards. I used to run 2 Merc, but I wanted to play Kit for testing it and see how it worked out. I think double Merc is absolutely correct. I would just run both. Like, there's no reason... Like, you shouldn't cap yourself at, like, 45. Do what you need to do, you know? If you need those options, rather. Yes, I only own 1 Quem, totally fair. With Super Poly, I think it's just player preference on my end, because I feel naked without it. I used to be like that with Branded, so I understand that feeling. I would just try to test without, because once you learn how to play Branded without it, and it's not even learning to play without, it's just like without that comfort of Super Poly, because that card breaks like any board if you're playing against like a player that will suffer against Super Poly, but good players just do not make boards that are Super Polyable. So... Alright, we have the worst deck list of the night. Zelda Duelist with Shifter Bolt Chummy, the deck with 3 blue eyes. Separate card arts because they need to be separate. Like, you know, obviously they have to differentiate themselves. They all have personalities. 3 Raigeki, 3 Dark Hole with 3 Bingo Goat Machines to search your blue eyes. You can, there's a Blue Eyes spell right here, I presume, to get out the Blue Eyes Ultimate, which is cool. Oh, it's a Blue Eyes Ultimate Turbo deck with a Reload and Magical Mallet with Thrust and Talents. The Thrust is wild. Like, does this trap actually help you? Like, is it like duplication for this deck? That'd be sick. Into the Void at 1's wild, too. It just might as well run freaking card of demise at that point, right? Maxine Meg, what's up, Chris? What the fuck is that deck list as Destimines? That's true. Most of the time I end up siding it because Droplet and Thrust do the work. Fair enough and Wild. I did like your list overall, though. Hold up, he's cooking. Yeah, I think you're cooking, Zelda Duelist. You're always up to something new, and honestly, I think with this one, you either have the best deck for Nats or the worst. There's like no in between with this. Either you're just seeing a line that no one else can see, like the Sharingan, or I'm about to waste my Nats ticket on this deck list because I'm running it. Oh, we have Vosquared. Vosquared. I do have to roast Vosquared's list. So what's up, Vosquared, channel member? My first channel member. Very much to appreciate. I remember all. You know that. I reply to every comment. I'm very active with my community. It's very cool to see like people still support me after so long. So very much to appreciate. Like shout out to Gabe Headley who was in the chat before. Like that man's been around forever on my channel. So yeah, Horus cards. This is Horus, Lightsworn with Centurions because the Lightsworn cards give you level 8s to help you facilitate Calamity plays and also let you just make disgusting end boards plus Apo, plus like SP because the Lightsworn cards plus rank 8s because of the Amritara and Minerva. But you don't have any rank 8s in here because I presume they always need to go to a Synchro, so that's fair. 3 Horus, or Imseti and then Happy and then 2 King Stark. Only 2. I'd maybe run 3. I think that card's too good not to run. And then in a Lightsworn deck, and then 3 Dragonling, 3 Weiss, 3 Wolf, and then 2 Fearless. I do think you can maybe cut down that engine a little bit because it's a lot of bricks between the Wolf and Fearless, but I understand. You can maybe cut one of each, to be honest. And then fit in some other cards. You have the 3 Fenrir. How's Fenrir in this deck, I have to ask? With the 1 Judgment Dragon. Judgment Dragon, I think, is being preferred over Punishment Dragon at the moment because it just breaks boards, you know? And then you have 3 stand-up Centurion with a very small Centurion engine of 1 Chimera, 1 yugioh, and then 1 Gargoyle, which is cool to see the Gargoyle, actually. It is a Dark Dragon. And then 1 Wake Up Centurion, then 1 of the Phalanxes, which is the Omni Negate, which gets over the Dark Ruler. Very important to remember that Centurion has an out for Dark Ruler. So you kind of need a bit more than that with that. Then you are running Calamity on the side, plus all the 12s, plus Scarlight, and then the Minerva Amritara package. I don't think you need Amritara in this. Oh, you search Raid Soth off of Amritara for Fenrir. I don't know if that's very good, though, because you can never summon Fenrir at that point. And then you do have the Link Charmers plus Apo access code, IP, SP to break boards. Very nice. Alright, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, of course. We do have channel memberships down below if you want to click the join button, become a channel member today, get access to the coaching group chat for you get to ask me anything, and then you get all my deck lists early. You guys are going to start getting early videos. You could also sign up for the higher tier for the coaching sessions as well. Very much just all goes back in the channel. Very much just appreciate it. Helps keep great content going here on the channel. Don't remember if I sent this variant. It says Jake the Mountain Man. Oh my gosh, what is this? Is this Exodia Fiendsmith? No, I don't think you did. You sent the other variant without Fiendsmith, and this is the update. So I presume it just helps you facilitate a lot more plays. This deck is basically trying to draw through its whole deck and assemble the 5 pieces of Exodia. Plus, you're running the new Exod, which is pretty cool. I'd just like run the fusion at that point, right? Maybe. For the Omni Negate, that'd be pretty cool. The new fusion, the new Exodia fusion. Do run the Magical Mallets plus the Wands plus the Dark Factory plus the Upstarts plus the Chicken Game and the Fiendsmith engine, the Exodia cards. This card helps you draw 2. The Flameville Guards look troll, but they actually help with the deck because of this guy. Number 90 for Anti-Nib. And then you do have the Wave King Caesar with no Beatrice, and you just use the Wave King for... You just use Fiendsmith in order to link climb or get to the Wave King. Very cool. I'm retired. Yeah, I already answered that. Blue Eye Spell summons the 3 from the deck just to kill after breaking their board, and the trap card is a turn skip. It removes the extra deck they can't play. Oh. How are you doing, Maxi? Nice to see you. Channel member in the chat, I believe. Fried Bacon, new background. Yeah, we did move into my actual bedroom. I'm no longer in my living room, so new background. Here we have Lord Viper's 3v3 deck list right here. Shout out to Viper in the chat, channel member in the chat. You do have three Cartesias, 2 Quem, 1 Merc. I actually love the main deck. The main deck's perfect. 50 cards. You have everything you need: Allure, High Spirits, Duplication, 2 red, the Thrusts, 3. I'd say maybe you could go to two Cartesia and maybe like a second Sarnier. Very nice, or maybe like a Asteria, obviously. No Lad. That's fine though. Standard extra deck, and then the side deck's looking pretty good. I do like the Black Goat, but I think Black Goat's pretty bad into the new format because Black Goat doesn't really turn skip.